said that they are coming to a resolution soon. So
On the
MTN,
MTN
CBN,
drama.
yeah. So we'll see.
Thank God for them.
See
They
what
should
happens.
resolve their matter. They should resolve
See
them.
where
But the thing is, I genuinely feel like I know on the one hand that our regulators have a bad habit of leaving things to the last minute, and then only when they really need money or to appear serious that they crack down. But we also have a habit of ignoring rules here. No one believes that rules here are real rules.
Yeah, there's some
So
guilt on both sides.
so people are continuously stepping outside the lines. But okay, we are in.
All right.
Visit globalmall.quickteller.com to start shopping. QuickTeller. Everyday payments
Studio.
made easy.
Good morning, Lagos. You're tuning and listening to Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.1. Today is Friday, the 23rd of November, which means it is time for us to talk tech inside of Business Express for a Tech Friday. Rotus is in the building. Good morning, Rotus.
Good morning, Folu. Good morning to everyone out there.
And everybody out there, feel free to send us a good morning or a comment on today's stories simply by tweeting at us. Use the hashtag BusinessExpress981. We've already retweeted part of our conversation for this morning, and you can leave your comments as well on our live stream. Go over to youtube.com/smooth981FM Lagos. Last but not least, our WhatsApp number stays ever available for you, so please send us WhatsApp messages to 0809 4440981.
All right, thank you, Folu. Won't dwell too much on the markets, but 0.05% is where we closed yesterday. Flour Mill was our top gainer. Ikeja Hotels was our top loser. The MPC Monetary Policy Committee meeting concluded yesterday, and they left all rates as they are. So the benchmark rate is still at 14%. However, Mr. Emefiele, the CBN governor, did say that they are finally coming to a resolution with MTN. So on the tech side of things, he didn't give too much detail, Sha, but he did say that a resolution is forthcoming. So
we need a resolution.
yeah, we need to know,
so
right?
much confusion.
So we need to know. The main thing is, look, if MTN ends up paying anything, how much would it be? They said they reduced it from the 10 billion, which was 8.1 billion dollars in the repatriated funds, and then 2 billion in back taxes. They said there was an agreement of it coming down to 800 million dollars, which is still a lot of money. So we want to see if they've agreed to that or if any further figure. So nothing yet. So
I still need some clarity on that. So is all of this down to MTN, or are the banks also supposed to be sanctioned? Because the back taxes, I understand with MTN, but also the repatriated funds, is it also MTN's responsibility or the banks?
The banks were just fined in assisting them in moving the money. So I heard they returned the money though. That's what I heard. I mean, nothing official on there, but they're still talking with MTN and the bank. So the banks was just, look, the CBN said you help them move the money, so take this cane to the knuckles. So we'll see how that goes. But okay, so what we want to discuss for Agritech, and just, by the way, shout out to Steven. He sent out a message on WhatsApp yesterday, which we didn't get to read, but Steven said, we're talking about rice and rice production. Yes. He said, Rotus, I hear that the government is relaxing its ban on imported rice in order to meet demand for Christmas. He now said, he
says he feels that's what's happening.
Right. He now said no be talk more. He said exactly. So it's not confirmed, and so nobody should take that
like an unofficial.
Right. Very unofficial. But if you think about it, with Christmas coming up, it kind of makes sense that.
Let me tell you what happened. I think you have to look at agents of government, right? Because sometimes we say government, it's always this man in the sky idea that we have. It's the people at the borders that are thinking that, man, see, Christmas is loading. We have to do something small for the family.
Exactly, so and the local production can meet it. So
maybe look the other way if you grease my.
Exactly. I help you out. So the reason why I'm bringing up agriculture is that on the tech side of things, I wanted us to just take a look at some of the players in Agritech, because a number of them have been popping up. There's of course the popular ones like Farm Crowdy, Pork Money, Thrive Agric. But yesterday I saw another one called Farm Sponsor. It was an ad on Instagram, and they were offering 15% returns in just 12 weeks for poultry farming. And
12 weeks.
12 weeks. That's 3 months, right? keep in mind, if to get guaranteed returns from the federal government of Nigeria for T-bills, you get just 10% for the same 3 months, right? So you're getting 10% from the government. These guys are offering 15 in the same amount of time. A 182-day T-bill is like 13%. 1 year is 14%. So I've been talking to a couple people. A few folks are starting to show some concerns with these platforms. Yeah.
Okay.
Because for instance, Farm Crowd. I just took an example here. They are offering. I think they had a poultry farm in Osun State, for example. They're asking for 96,000 naira and 11% in 6 months. Thrive Agritech. They have a maize farm. They are asking for 80,000 naira, returns of 20% in 9 months. Pork Money. Their own is. They said after 11 months, if you sponsor pigs in certain pig farms after they've reached maturation and they're sold, you can get anywhere from 20 to 35% in 11 months. That is.
These are questionable numbers.
Yeah, they are kind of questionable. And again, look, I'm not, I tagged all these companies on Instagram, so I'm not trying to jump on anyone or demarket anybody. We're just asking questions because
important.
Look, we talked about inflation yesterday, right?
Yes.
We talked about food inflation has been pushing our inflation figures for quite a while. Prices have been higher, yields in many cases have dropped, so that has reduced supply, which has pushed up the cost of food. You've had the flooding that's been going on. You've had the herdsman crisis.
Yes.
So if you're a farmer in this country, especially in the middle belt that's feeding the rest,
it's been tough.
It's been very tough. So my issue here is for you to guarantee returns to an investor. Like I say, Folu, bring your 100K, I will guarantee you 25 to 30% in 11 months. If for some reason, and this is how it works, and I wish Fisayo and Tai were here, unfortunately they're not, because we've talked about this off air. Okay. If for some reason, Folu, you give me that 100K and invest in any of these digital agri-tech platforms, if there's the headsman thing affects the farm or a flood, I have to take money from somewhere and return it to you. Yeah. And so the danger here is that if I don't have the money, maybe I depend on another investor to come in. I take their own money and give you back your return. Now I have to help find out money to return, and all of a sudden you have.
So Cheryl is saying what everyone is thinking right now. He just sent us a WhatsApp to say that those new apps, they're the new MMMO. He says, LOL.
By the way, look, this
is hearsay. We're just asking these questions because it is important to look at that, because you're correct.
Yeah.
And you can't ignore the real context of Nigeria and what's happening and how it is affecting farmers in general. But maybe you could argue, because things like pigs. I know we're having this.
And you challenged me on this. I was asking how many people eat pigs in this country,
and I was saying the pig is one of the most versatile animals to have.
Right, but you think about the Muslim population here and the whole religious thing behind pork. I mean, I don't know if there's enough of a population to support you going into pig farm. I
will say that even though, so for example, even if the meat of the pig is not being consumed, first of all, the hoofs can be used for glue,
for something else. Okay.
Yes, there's all these other
options.
uses, so the entire animal is very useful. But I will also say that there are people that
who are
religion
claiming, but they're still chopping it. I eat pork. I'm putting it out there. I eat pork well, so
some people do. So I think that yes, there's something to be said in pig farming, and perhaps they're a bit more low maintenance. I think.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I've heard the same thing.
Because
yes.
my grandmother was a farmer.
Right.
So these are interesting things to consider. So I can understand a little bit why people would be going in that direction.
Right.
That's doing decently. But again, you're right. These numbers. It would be
I don't
nice.
know.
Is there going to be any regulation in this area?
I'm glad you asked that question. As of right now, the SEC, I hear that's the Securities and Exchange Commission, because things are being treated like securities. The SEC hasn't come out yet with regulation looking at Agritech, and I don't think CBN has put anything out, but I hear they're working on it. So right now things are kind of in limbo, but they are working. I just wish, remember you were talking on there, they need to speed up these things, and regulators need to move fast,
a little faster. We've got Sam who says sends in a WhatsApp and says, but Rotus, there's also an insurance component in their structure.
Thank you very much for that message, Sam. Yes, Folu, and we've talked about this, about they're insured. I think it's either Fram Crowdy or Thrive Agri. We've talked about insurance. The problem, though, is what exactly the insurance covers.
Yes.
And some people, again, I don't want to look like I'm attacking these people, because these are businesses that have come out and
they're doing decent.
They're doing decent.
People are reporting,
people are their testimonies.
Things. But we've seen these testimonies before.
And the insurance, and again, I need to dig more deeply into this, but I hear the insurance doesn't only covers like certain things, you know, maybe transportation to the cities, or it's not as thorough as we expect. It does not guarantee the returns.
And it can't cover acts of God. I'm relatively sure
exactly.
It won't. And
Again,
in Nigeria, a lot of things are acts of God.
Yields on all these crops and farming and poultry in Nigeria, it's not easy. It's tough. So again, just asking the question.
I ever sent a message say 20%. Hey Rotus, what's the website again?
That's Thrive Agric. Although I think I took that example. I think their maize offer for that. It's for a maize farm that's in Gwara in Jere local government in Kaduna. If you go to their website Thrive Agric, they have all these offers. I think that one is closed, but they have windows that they open. But see, this is what I'm saying. This new farm sponsor people, they don't have a website, and they're already offering this. They only have a Facebook page. So
Rainmaker says, Rotus, the figures are not outright, trust me. I currently do financial and investment analysis for one of the biggest QSRs in West Africa, and the numbers are awesome. Sorry,
Okay.
QSR for the sake of everyone listening.
Oh God, I can't
We'll
remember
get
off
back
the top
to
of my
that.
head.
Don't
Yeah.
worry. And says, boy, I'm taking out the idea that most of these platforms churning out huge returns may be unrealistic. But if you take time to study their business model, you may be convinced. Check their RTM, their localization, large target market, for example. So, my dear Rotus, farming is quite profitable. And like you always advise, do your due diligence. Before
Thank you for that.
invest.
I think QSR might be quick service restaurants. I think that's what it is. I mean, I'm very correct.
Esther says, please team, do you know of Agro Mall? They do agri-business too.
Thank you, Esther. You see, again, men, they're just,
There are
and you
lots.
see, they keep popping up. There's so many. Folu.
Adewale is asking as well, Adewale Fagbero, who is regulating these tech firms?
Folu just asked that question. SEC is still working on
It's
this.
in the wind right now. Pappy K says none of these figures is non-achievable, and trust me, those returns are conservative. Pigs and poultry, most importantly. Most of these guys trade in the West and at Trimble-free zones. All these are insured as well. Leadway Mansard all fully insuring these.
All
Okay,
right, Pappy K, thank you for that. Thank you for that.
And Tyre from VI says, I think Farm Crowdy guarantees investors that their money is covered up to their investment. And for pork, Nigeria presently eats more than it produces.
You just said that, right?
I know that
We're chopping the thing well.
very well, very well.
We spent almost the entire segment on
Yes.
this particular thing. How much time do we have? Still a couple.
49 seconds.
Well, okay, well, there you have it. Engaging. I thank everybody that's responded to this. You know, again, we're still looking at this this particular sector. Again, these are legitimate companies. They have, you know, like Thrive Agric, they went through the Y Combinator program in California. So that's solid. And and some of them even take you to the farms to go and look at.
So you
right.
can see it's
so
real. It's a real business.
Right. So my own thing is just the other competitors are popping up so quickly. Some don't have websites. Some guaranteeing these returns. And, you know, okay, Rainmaker confirmed it, yeah?
Sam asks, please, is the return actual or per annum? We
Per
have
annum,
to consider this
per annum, yes.
when comparing with T-bills.
Per annum, that's per annum, yes.
Okay, and Rainmaker says, QSR, quick service restaurant.
Right,
Yes,
okay,
we
yes,
do
that is.
backward integration. And please take time out to have a table chat with the big investors in these platforms or their owners. Your doubt may be reduced. We just need regulation.
All right.
Regulation. That's the
Yes,
key.
indeed.
That's the key. Thank you very much, Rotus, and thank you to everybody that's
Thank you.
contributed so
Engaging
actively.
stuff. Yes, thank
very
you for that.
engaging. But do stick around and continue to engage with us because coming up next, top of the hour, we are going to be taking a look at your hustle. I want to know what your side hustle is. Rotus, what's your side hustle? What's your passion?
Poultry farming.
Hey,
I'm joking. No, I'm joking.
Returns for the win. Keep listening, Lagos. It's Smooth 98.1.